There have been several serial killers known to man. These killers have done crimes that will definitely send shivers down your spine. But for today's video, we will be talking about probably the worst one yet. Thug Berman is also known in history as a serial killer who holds a world record for killing over 900 people. Join us today as we talk about the gruesome crimes committed by a world record holder murderer with a handkerchief. But before we start this video, we just want to put a disclaimer. This video may contain some graphic and detailed information that correlates to murder which may not be suitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Thug Behram, also known as Behram Jamidar, is frequently mentioned as one of the most prolific serial killers in history. Born in the year of 1764, Behram became a leader of the THUGGEE cult that was active in central India's Odo during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. According to sources, Behram was a shy kid and was very antisocial for the first few years of his life. That is until he met a thug that is 25 years older than him. Ever since then, his whole personality changed. Behram started killing and frightening people at the age of 10. Furthermore, by the age of 25, he had become well versed in the world of thievery, thugs, and murder. Behram reportedly always carried a yellow handkerchief and a coin to strangle his victims to death, according to historical accounts. James Patton, an East India Company officer who worked for the Thuggee and Dacoity office in the 1830s and wrote a manuscript on Thuggee, and he claims that despite the fact that Behram is occasionally suspected of having committed 931 murders, Behram reiterated that he has been present at these murders. Behram admitted to killing about 125 men while he stood by and watched 150 more men get strangled. During this time, the British occupied India, but even they didn't escape the wrath of this thug. Behram killed his victim by using his cummerbund or rumal, which had a sizable medallion sewed into it as a garrote. He had the skill to cast the rumal so that the medallion would land near the Adam's apple of his victims, increasing the pressure on their throats as he strangled them. That's pretty horrifying to be in. Can you imagine how the victims felt while they were being strangled to death? If that doesn't send a shiver down your spine, I don't know what will. Thugs are thought to have traveled the Indian subcontinent in packs around the 18th century. Thugs allegedly worked as highway robbery gangs, luring their victims before strangling them. The thugs would interact with the travelers to take advantage of them, gaining their trust so they could surprise them and strangle them with a handkerchief or rope. After that, they would rob and bury their victims. Behram terrorized the streets of India between the years 1790 and 1840. Since his crimes happened so long ago, there are some inconsistencies regarding the true nature of these said crimes. Behram committed his crime in the Awadh district of modern-day UP, as Guinness notes. However, other reports claim that the place he committed crimes was along the Delhi-Gwalior-Jabalpur road. This route is used by many traders, pilgrims, and other groups. These people were the main target of Thug Behram and his group. Although the true nature of his crimes are a mystery, one thing is for sure: his horrifying acts against humanity will forever be marked in history. Speaking of Thug Behram, did you know that the word thug actually came from the Hindi word thag, which means thief? It is no doubt that Thug Behram is one of the most notorious serial killer ever. But when we say serial killer, who is the first person to comes in your mind? Do you think they come close to Thug Behram's crimes? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And before we proceed with the rest of the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more true crime content. And also, give this video a big thumbs up if you're enjoying it so far. Now we won't keep you waiting. Let's get back to it. Nearly 200 people made up Behram's gang, which had infected fear throughout the central Indian regions. Behram and his gang made such a large impact that most people had to alter their behavior. At least they kept people in line. That's a silver lining, right? Now, let's talk about how exactly Behram and his gang commit the crimes. Allegedly, Behram and his group used to talk in different code languages. They would imitate the cries of a jackal to warn the other members of the arrival of a convoy. Ramas is the word they use to signal each other before assaulting their victim. So if you heard this word in India during the 18th century, then you might want to run and hide. If you thought thugs are living in a free world with no rules, you thought wrong. Apparently, Behram and his gang followed a strict tradition where they do not kill women, Muslim Sufis, musicians, lepers, and Europeans. They usually target traders, tourists, and pilgrims. These are the standards they uphold whilst committing a crime. Behram and his thugs considered all of the killings they carried out to be only a part of their religious duty because they were devout worshippers of the goddess Kali. Living such a dangerous life must be so exciting. However, since Behram was trying his best not to get discovered by authorities, it might be hard to find someone to settle down with. Allegedly, during his initial days of thuggee, Behram had a female companion named Dolly, but they later got separated. She and Behram were partners in stealing and even killing people. I guess Behram and Dolly were the original Bonnie and Clyde. Due to Behram's growing fame in England, 5 British inquiry teams were dispatched to Jabalpur to conduct an investigation. But guess what? Behram killed all of the investigators that were sent to him, proving once again how notorious he really is. Eventually, the British had to send a soldier named William Henry Sleeman to further the investigation. It was not an easy task for Sleeman to gather information about Behram. Since his group ruled the streets of India, people were afraid to talk. Sleeman would have to move from city to city in order to collect information, but to no luck, he didn't get any. Syed Amir Ali, one of his closest associates, gave himself over to the British in 1832 for the sake of his family. And finally, in 1838, Behram was also arrested. During his arrest is where he, along with other members, were involved in 931 deaths. After narrating the story of his crimes, other members of his gang were arrested as well. In Jabalpur in 1840, Behram and his gang paid for their crimes by being executed by hanging from a tree. His medallion, which was used in more than 60 murders, is preserved in a private museum. Behram was known as King of the Thugs for being such a notorious crime leader. Throughout his years of terrorizing, several lives have been claimed and countless riches has been stolen. It is intriguing that none of the stolen gold, silver, and valuable stones that he buried have ever been found. The location of the loots he stole are still a mystery to this day. Serial killers are being talked about now more than ever. People may be fascinated with some of the famous killers like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, we're here to remind you that the most dangerous and badass of them all is Thug Behram. And that's all what we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if so, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well for more true crime content. I'll see you in the next video.